I'm from Kiev, from Ukraine. At this moment, I'm a president of Ukrainian Fitness Association, and we were established in 2008. All these years, we do our best to grow Ukrainian market. Every year, we organize some conference for managers and owners sport clubs together with company Nike in Ukraine. Usually we do this conference in March, and so past 12 years, every year we do this conference. This is our first business, or not business, I don't know how to translate. In 2016, we start Ukrainian National Trainers Register. We saw on URSA conference some information about reps. ECREPS and reps, we contact to ECREPS committee, and they advised us to start our national trainers register, and then we can be part of ECREPS in general in the world. So last year we start cooperation with reps Poland, and now we're trying to find a partnership between Ukrainian standards of fitness professionals and Polish standards. And we know that Europe Active exists like all Europe Association for national registers, and we interested in collaboration, maybe recognizing each other. We don't know all opportunities, what we can do together. So this is the main point.
Yeah, thank you, Vadim. You went right to chase. So yeah, maybe briefly. So I'm Lucas, the clerk. I head up EU affairs with Europe Active. I help with representation of our organization with the EU institutions, and I also am responsible for relations with national associations, national fitness associations. So maybe Cliff, Julian, if you guys introduce yourselves as well, then everybody knows who can give input for which topic. So Cliff, you want to start?
Yeah, shall I? Yes. So I'm Cliff Collins. I'm the programs director for Europe Active. And specifically, I'm working with Lucas in some European affairs work, but also I look after the big European projects, which we do in collaboration with the European Commission. And this has quite recently taken us into Ukraine. There was a meeting of the Commission Sport Unit and members of the sport movement from across Europe who came to Kiev last year, towards the end of last year, for a conference with the title of Sport Beyond Frontiers. So, as you know, the European Union is keen to build deep relationships with what are called the Eastern Partnership countries. So Ukraine is very much centered to that. We're also working in Georgia and in the Balkan countries, the Eastern Balkan countries, as well, to draw them closer to the way that the European Union operates and works. So we have shared values and common purpose. It's more of a political union. There's always a little bit of money, not very much, but some money in there, which helps us to travel around Europe. So at present, we have some work in Ukraine, which started at the beginning of this year with a funded project by the European Commission called National Fitness Days Europe. This is part of a campaign which has been running for 6 years based on the European Week of Sport. And this is it's a coordination by the Commission with many actors across sport and fitness to get as many people as possible active during 1 week, the European Week of Sport, which is the 3rd week in September. And It is the 3rd week of September, Lucas.
It's the final one, 23rd of September to the 30th of September.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Details, sorry.
No. So it's now in its sixth year, and fitness is what's called a key theme in that. They see the fitness sector as being able to get very good messages out there to get people physically active. So this has brought us in connection with Andre and his colleagues in Ukraine. And we have similar setups in Georgia, Republic of North Macedonia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina as well. And just as a context of Europe Active, we have currently 21 national associations in different European countries. And if you can understand, we're like a platform organization. So we have a national association and they join us and we help to coordinate at that European level. So that's the work which I've been doing for a very long time. And Julian, I can introduce him as our Director of Professional Standards. Julian.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, it's a bad connection.
So yes, I'm Julian Berryman. I'm the Director of Europe Active's Professional Standards Committee. So I have responsibility for the educational standards that we hold and that we've developed over some 15 years or more in consultation with the European fitness industry. So we have standards for various roles within fitness, so personal trainer, fitness instructor, group fitness responsibilities. I deal with the accreditation of training providers across Europe, so training companies, educators, and how they deliver their training. We approve them or not, depending on how good they are. But I also have responsibility for the European Register of Exercise Professionals, EREPS. I'm sure you've heard of us. So this is a pan-European register of fitness professionals. We have a number of relationships with other countries around Europe and their registers. Obviously that's about promoting a highly skilled and knowledgeable workforce across Europe.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Julian. So I
Thank you.
presume that is Marina on this call as well. I'm not capable of reading your alphabet, unfortunately. You're on mute, or at least I can't hear you. I don't know if the others can.
Microphone. 1 second. Еще раз.
Now you mute it. Yeah, now it should work.
Попробуйте еще раз. Марин, выключен сейчас. Нажмите. Скажите что-то.
For some reason, that's not working.
Yes. Now, while she tries to figure out how to get the microphone working, I think so. You very clearly introduced the topic that you want to discuss in more detail, and you got Julian is on this call, so you got the right people in the room. I think from our side, it would also be very interesting to get a better understanding of the Ukrainian fitness landscape, a bit more information about the Ukrainian Fitness Association in terms of membership, in terms of goals, in terms of planning. Because as Cliff has already briefly mentioned in his introduction, we are also in contact with the Sports Committee of Ukraine, and then one of their organizations, which is for fitness and gymnastics, and which is headed up by Andriy Bolyak. So
I know it.
I said, well, it would be very helpful for us if you could give us a better understanding of your activities and the landscape. If that is all right with you.
Марина, работает? No, it doesn't work. Okay. I will introduce Marina. Marina, she is a head of REPS Ukraine in association. So she is responsible for connection with all providers. And now we doing a huge work to connect the most huge Ukrainian providers of fitness trainers, and we're trying to change Ukrainian standards of providers, because at this moment we have approximately 83 providers in Ukraine, and the quality of education is very low. So our goal to raise standards of education, and of course to build a Ukrainian trainers register. So this is a responsibility of Marina. I'm right, Marina?
Hey, Marina, I think your microphone is working. Marina, can you try again? No, yeah, I think it was working. I saw your screen lighting up. I don't know. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm really sorry.
Okay, okay. Unfortunately, okay. I will be only one speaker from Ukraine.
Yes. So how do we want to go about this? Shall we first go into the question of standards? And
yes, a little bit. Could I just perhaps do just a wee bit of history connection here, just so perhaps Vadim and Marina, you have a little bit more context of where we come from. So, as you may gather, I'm an Englishman. In fact, so is Julian. And in the year 2000, I started the register of exercise professionals in the UK. And this was based on the UK government needing to have some level of regulation by the industry on how fitness clubs operated and the people who work in those fitness clubs. This was a view to making sure that the fitness sector had some good professionals working in fitness clubs and could help in terms of general promotion of physical activity and connecting with other healthcare professionals who were going to prescribe people not to take drugs, but to go and just do some exercise. So they needed to make sure that there was some competent people out there. So we said, well, based on the national standards, which we had in the UK at the time, we would start this register of exercise professionals, which happened, and it's been very successful. I finished that time in 2008 when I moved into the European domain. Julian has subsequently taken over and done a much better job than I did, but we started the European register at the same time as I started IC Reps in 2007. And founded on much the same principles of cooperation between registers who worked with the same level of standards of education for fitness trainers. So this was the big test, and there were not many registers or organizations who were working to these standards around the world at that time. There are more, but there has been a divergence of approach since then. In the European, needs to be able to